Ladies and gentlemen, welcome! This is the Team Liquid Legacy Star League Season 3 Peiziki Day! The finals! And the fourth place match. I'm Sale, and with me today is a rather pixelated Elegant.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'm having some minor internet trouble. That's what comes from living in a barn in the middle of the countryside. But
Wait, seriously? You live in a barn?
Well, it's a converted barn. And it's because it's not in the main house. So I live in the converted barn, and I have a cable that runs across the garden and gives me internet, like an Ethernet cable.
Oh man, that is
Pretty
hardcore. That's just the life of a Broodor caster, ladies and gentlemen.
It's terrible. It means I can shout though, which is good. That's cool.
Well, I mean, this is how it should be though, right? I mean, this is like webcam quality from 1998. See, Elegant's just kicking it old school.
Yeah, I'm bringing authenticity back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, none of this high def shenanigans. No.
Who needs it?
Alright, well, yes, this is the grand finals, everybody. We're going to have a best of 5 fourth place match first, which is going to be DragOn versus TechnicS, a PvZ, followed by the best of 7 grand finals of Seiki versus True Touch. A ZVZ, but should be very exciting given True Touch's form that we saw last weekend.
Yeah, we can talk more about that when we come to it, but it's going to be really, really exciting. True Touch is, he's taking this seriously. He wants to knock Zeke off that podium. He wants it more than anyone. That's why he's got to the final, and that's why I think he actually has a chance of doing it here. He could topple the untoppable god of Zeke. It is just about possible. It's going to be very, very exciting.
It would be amazing, man. Dude, if True Touch beats Zeke Day, I'm gonna move to Poland or something. Something drastic.
Yeah, just so you can shake his hand. That'd be
exactly.
So good.
But that is going to come second, though, because first Elegant, we got to do the fourth place match, which I think is equally exciting, because DragOn blew us away with a PvZ against Julia in the round of 8. And last weekend, in his semifinal match against Seiki, even though he didn't win, he still blew us away with some amazing PvZ play.
Yeah. Wow, he was really, really good, wasn't he? Very, very smart player. And again, another player who shows he's really been practicing and it's really paid off. His first deep run in the TLS, like we said last week, and he's made it all the way to the semi-finals. Took a game off Zeke. We're safe from spoilers now, I presume, because
it's the finals. Spoil everything.
Yeah,
spoil. But no, I'm just kidding. Don't tell him who's in the finals, though. That's unacceptable.
That would be too much of a spoiler.
Yes.
But yeah, he was so good. His strategic play was just right on point. And by strategic play, I don't mean crazy cheats designed to beat Zeke. It was smart. And though he did go down quite decisively overall, he played very, very well. And so he's got a great shot in this semi-finals match. Really, really good shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're spot on there. Like, it was really a lot of small mechanical errors, really, that did him in.
Yeah.
Which is sort of to be expected, given that you're comparing your mechanics against Seiki, which is difficult to say the least. Losing initial Corsairs and things like that. If he can sort of brush up on that, which hopefully he spent a bit of time this week doing so, definitely will have a very strong chance here against TechnicS. Especially since TechnicS, of course, is inactive. We did mention this last week again in his games against True Touch. He definitely showed it. His Muta Micro was very, very lacking in those games. But, I think ZVP is probably a little bit more forgiving than ZVZ in that regard, because ZVZ is such a tense, like, knife edge matchup where one miss micro or one slip up, you get hit by some Scourge and that's the game, just instantly. So that and then the Muta Micro, that kind of thing, is something that relies on practice. You have to be playing constantly to keep that sharp. Whereas in ZVP, you can do a lot more like strategic things. You don't necessarily have to get every single micro bit spot on to win.
Well, you certainly don't know.
Yeah. And I think TechnicS is a good enough player that he's got good game understanding, good game sense. He should be able to pull out some cool strategies where he doesn't necessarily need to have up-to-date mechanics to win.
Yeah, I echo that completely. It does not rely on that hair's breadth fine control, especially when you're playing against such a good player as True Touch. There's a very low chance that he will be the first one to make a mistake. If you're a bit out of practice, it's going to be you. And so there's no real way to win that. Whereas, like you say, he's a little bit more forgiving, and he can maybe breeze past on his game sense and knowledge of the matchup just a little bit more.
Yeah. Another thing I think is going to be interesting also is, so, you know, of course, TechnicS is out of practice because he's been busy with, you know, real life. That terrible game. It's awful. I don't recommend anyone play. You should just play Brood War instead. But, you know, he's been busy with that. But, you know, I know, of course, we always talk about how the Bulgarians are, you know, like really, you know, proud of all their players, especially in TechnicS, you know, being probably the best player from Bulgaria. Everyone's always, like, cheering for him. So I'm sure, you know, he has some Bulgarian friends who, you know, checked out the Dragon's games against Julia, checked out Dragon's games against Ziki. Maybe we're like, you know, Julia did, like, these lurker drop things, and Dragon couldn't really handle that, so maybe you can try that. Or, you know, Ziki went for mutas and Dragon's Corsair control wasn't that great, so maybe you can try that. So I'm sure he's maybe got some, even if he necessarily didn't have time to watch the games himself, would have had some tips from his compatriots, which is awesome. I think that's fantastic as well.
Yeah, I agree. It really is nice when you kind of get a bit more community to it. It's not just a guy out by himself, you know, who's got kind of sport he's got players he can practice with. I think TechnicS will have at least practiced a little bit for this week, because when you're in the third, fourth place match, it really is worth putting the time in. He may not necessarily thought that he could really do finals justice, but I think he's gonna want the third place. He's gonna want to take that.
Well, here's the thing, Elegant. If you get third place, you get a prize of, I believe, $50. And if you get fourth place, you get nothing. So, you know, this is it. This is the cutoff point for the money. Yeah, I think that will add to it, and hopefully he did at least get a few hours of practice in before today. But yes, let's go on and see the first map. It is going to be Destination. We are using the same map order for this best of 5 as we did for the semifinals. The finals, of course, being a best of 7 will be slightly different. I'll tell you guys the map order for that when we get to it. But yes, Destination, first map, PVZ. Now, DragOn, of course, remember in his match against Julia, dropped the first 2 sets on Destination and Aztec and then came back. So I'm not sure if he has something else prepared. He did lose in a very silly fashion on this map, just getting his backdoor mind out. Of course, that didn't happen against Ziki, but still, you know, gotta be careful on this map. Yeah,
totally. That's one of the most common things Zerg can do. It's so funny just to let that happen, especially from such a top level players such as DragOn. Must have just had like a little brain thing that it just snuck through and didn't really think of it. It's very easy to do, but he's going to be all over that kind of thing today, I'm sure. After what must have been, I know he said it wasn't in the interview, but after what must have been a bit of a scare at least against Julia, I think he's going to want to not let that kind of crap happen against TechnicS. He's just going to keep his head screwed on.
Yeah, and you know, compared to what he said about Julia in the interview, I highly doubt he holds the same opinion about TechnicS. I'm sure he respects TechnicS much more as a player. Although conversely, that could mean that he won't be as worried about any kind of cheese because he doesn't expect that from TechnicS.
Maybe. That's very, very possible actually. But he'll be ready for it. He'll be keeping an eye out.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's enough of an intro. Elegant, are you ready for game number 1?
I'm ready.
All right. Here we go. TechnicS versus DragOn. Alright, here we go into game number 1. At the 12 o'clock position as the green Protoss player, we have Dragon Pain. At the 6 o'clock position as the yellow Zerg, we have TechnicS representing Bulgaria.
Yes, we do. These guys are going to be warming up a little bit. This is going to be a really, really good match. I really like it when you get such a nicely balanced kind of third, fourth place finals match. Feels like circumstances being different. I think that DragOn would have had a shot at getting to the finals. He wasn't overall going to beat Ziki, I don't think, but maybe he could have beaten True Touch, and so that leads us to a really kind of nice third, fourth place match where we've got still really, really worthwhile players going against each other. And TechnicS nothing to be sniffed at either. I think it's really nice. It's not just like the walkover and then the final feature. It's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really happy with DragOn, because so often we get situations, especially in the foreign Brood War scene, where players just don't practice enough or don't really prepare for their matches. But DragOn really seems on the ball this season with, getting himself practiced, getting himself in shape. So, you know, just no matter what happens, I think that's fantastic. And so, you know, of course, he showed us good games as a result as well.
He did, and yeah, hopefully, 'cause that's one thing I think that these players forget. Well, some players forget anyway. That there are people watching, and it's not entirely about them. It's not entirely about the player. It's about the people watching, the people supporting the team as well. And I think that can go by the wayside a little bit for the players who think that that's just the be-all end-all, and they can play or not play, and it only matters to them. But really, it does have a wider effect, and Dragon's kind of representing really well. He's clearly worked out for his games, and hopefully that carries through into next season as well. He's potentially very
we got a battle here, Elegant. Hold on. 1 hit left. Ooh, the drone's gonna get away though. Gonna switch out. High five this extra drone coming in, and now this probe is quite damaged, so he's gonna have to be a little bit careful. Could throw down a pylon if he really wants to block it. No, he didn't care that much.
Yeah, he knows the pool's down, and the pool's down already. Got a couple of Zerglings popping out, and yeah, that's going to be absolutely fine for Dragon. He might have enough time to make his Nexus first. No, choosing not to. Choosing to make the cannon first. But choosing to make 2 cannons first. I find that a little bit curious.
He also didn't change the positioning, even though, remember in his game against Ziki, it wasn't ideal. Neither of these cannons covers the right side gas. In fact, they don't even cover the right side minerals, so we saw Ziki like camp some Zerglings behind and just annoy probes a little bit, which was a bit bad.
You must just feel it's the lesser of 2 evils, you know, to be much safer for run by and then to have to make another cannon if it comes to it. He must just kind of feel that it is the slightly more favourable disadvantage.
Indeed. Oh, looks like Overlord just going to tease the cannon a little bit, take half its HP off.
What's the Overlord? Teasing the cannon.
Exactly. Anyway, yeah, but if there's a goon coming out later, that Overlord will kill that goon slightly faster, I think. I don't think it'll have time to regenerate all its HP. Maybe it will, actually. I'm not sure.
I think it goes pretty slowly. Look at that, 91, 92. It's a pretty painful process. I'd imagine Dragon's going to make a Dragoon Zealot kind of staying there, because otherwise he really can't defend that far right-hand side of his natural expansion. He's going to need Dragoon Zealot, possibly another Zealot as well if he wants to do some pressure. Wouldn't be too surprised. And Zealot pressure is something we're seeing a lot these days in early TVZ. No longer is the Protoss just happy to sit back and let the Zerg kind of do their thing until like the 8-9 minute mark where something can happen to Protoss. We're seeing far more often these little kind of Zealot pushes, those are the earlier game gambit.
Indeed. I think that's good. You know, be a little bit more active. Don't let the drone up. Don't let the Zerg drone up like crazy. And but you see, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what Ziki did, just camping this little position on the right side of the minerals, and the cannon can't reach. You see? Oh, he might get a probe. Ooh, overstepping his bounds a little bit. Gonna lose a couple of extra Zerglings. Not really necessary. You can actually see a slight difference now in the control here when Ziki did this versus where TechnicS is doing this. Now he's already down to 2 Zerglings. Ziki would still have 6 Zerglings running around by now. Oh, he's gonna get 1 probe. All right.
Not bad. He's got a probe. That just probably wasn't the best use of his blings, as we saw Ziki. You know, Ziki does it better. But you could say that about basically anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's
not really a fair comparison.
It's harsh because Ziki was doing it exactly last week, and so we can directly compare. It's a bit unfair on TechnicS, really. Here comes 2 Zealots, making their way over to the left-hand side, over towards the Zerg third base. And this is especially good because he knows that TechnicS lost a bunch of his early Zerglings, so he's going to have to reproduce blings to defend this, and I really like that.
Yes, absolutely. You're absolutely correct, Elegant. Although having said that, I see 6 Zerglings in total on the map, 2 still running out of the main. 2 Zealots of Micro can take down 6 Zerglings, so he's probably going to have to produce a couple more, but it looks like the Overlord sees the Zealots going back, actually. So that's going to be that. Did he actually produce 8? If he only produced 6, that's actually probably fine for him, in fact. Did not overproduce. Yeah, you can look at this, TechnicS, realizing that, you know, oh no, he's got a 7th and 8th on the way. Okay, never mind. But still, you know, not going crazy and overmaking Zerglings, not overreacting, anything like that. He's pretty confident. He knows it's not going to be any kind of hardcore aggression. So he feels pretty safe anyway. And in the meantime, we have the first Corsair about to pop out, the Citadel of Adun on the way. Dragon in his games against Ziki did opt for +1 Corsairs, I believe most of the games.
Yeah, so, I think all of them.
Yeah.
I think so, anyway.
Probably. By the way, we have an interesting opening here. No Spire from TechnicS. He's instead still only, he's not even got a 5th hatchery. He's on 4 hatches, and he's already got his Hydras upgrading here. So he's gone for sort of a 4-hatch Hydra, but he got the gases in time. Actually, did he get his gases before the 4th hatch? Is he actually going like pure 4 hatch Hydra and I wasn't paying attention?
I guess so. I can't. It certainly looks like it. I'm pretty sure he got that.
Given his lair timing, I think he actually went 4 hatch no gas into 4 hatch Hydra with lair. And I just am an idiot and missed everything.
Had the gas for quite a long time now.
Yeah. But I still think from the timings that's likely what's happened. In the meantime, though, unfortunately for him, he had 2 overloads a little bit far out. He's going to lose one of them, but the Hydras do come out in time to save the other guy.
Yeah, indeed. There's two Corsairs going to run away. DragOn doing better with his Corsairs today. He's actually managed to keep both of them alive from the start. There is another Overlord looking damaged in the main base. Those Corsairs might be able to grab it if DragOn micros carefully. The Hydra is focusing down the wrong Corsair. Is he going to grab the Overlord? Come on, he's got to get that. He's got to get that. Yeah, he's going to get it. There are a few Hydras waiting outside the base though. Might be able to catch one Corsair if they target the right one down. They're not going to. The Corsair's going to escape. Not too bad. And a third Corsair coming in. Another Overlord going down as well. This is not good for TechnicS at all.
Yeah, this is quite problematic. One key factor when you're going 4 hatch Hydra or 5 hatch Hydra, basically any kind of opening that doesn't involve a Spire to get Scourge, the initial Overlord positioning is absolutely crucial because you can only defend with Hydras. So you have to have them all kind of nearby and defend it. Oh my god, at the 3rd base, more Overlords are going to die. Looks like TechnicS might just convert this into some kind of semi-all-in Hydra bust because he's just losing all his Overlords. But there's no way this is going to work across the bridges with plenty of cannons warping in on the other side at the natural. But oh man, look at this. TechnicS is infinitely supply blocked right now. This is impossible for him to do anything. Looks like he's just going to respond by getting another hatchery at the bottom left because at least that doesn't take supply.
Yeah, this is horrible for TechnicS. He's
we might catch a Corsair here in the middle. Not quite.
Looks like he will. He's having to pop out Overlords basically directly over underneath where other Corsairs, and that's not ideal with those Hydras away from home. And DragOn is easily able to defend over the other side as well. So DragOn is looking very, very in control. He's not going to be in any danger for a little while. Another couple of Overlords going to be going down. Aside from just delaying TechnicS very badly, this is also very expensive.
Yes.
He's had to spend hundreds and hundreds of minerals now on Overlords that he just did not need to be making.
Yeah, absolutely. In the meantime, DragOn macroing up as normal, getting his gateways up. We saw in his games against Julian Tikri how beastly his macro is once he actually gets his economy rolling. So that'll be pretty scary for TechnicS. You know, this is kind of hard. Before all of those Overlords died, I was gonna say I quite like the idea of going 4 hatch Hydra on this map because it allows you to get the big Hydra force out faster than if you'd gone for the Spire first. So you can start being aggressive with the Hydras, pressure the Protoss, and then eventually set up the contain on the other side of the bridges because you already have the Hydra force on the map. But because of losing all these Overlords, there's no way you could do that. So kind of like the main point of the build is gone. Which really sucks.
Really badly. Yeah, massively sucks. Look at the BT is gonna not die. Surprisingly, there's no Overlord in the main. So if the DT were actually able to sneak through somehow, that would be really good. It's not going to happen though. These Corsairs have finally been shut down, losing a few of their number. They're no longer safe versus Scourge. And the Scourge right now, it looks like these Corsairs might get cleaned up right here. Hydra's going to land a few more hits. No, the Corsair's very sensibly running home. I don't know if he's seen the Scourge yet though. There you go. He must have seen them now. He's going to go all the way back. No way they're going to be able to do 2 more right now. And it's always best to preserve them for later. This DT hanging around, just looking hopeful, but it's not going to be getting anytime soon. Because of the way TechnicS started to clump all his Overlords together with Hydra outside his base.
Yeah. The DT is sort of in the path a drone would take to go to the right side though, so he's like doing a preventative block on a potential 5th base here from TechnicS, but I don't think TechnicS is going to take that anytime soon. He's already got the mineral only in the back anyway. Meanwhile, it looks like DragOn's content to just go take his 3rd now. He's done quite a bit of damage, but of course, having built all those Corsairs did eat into his ground armor. You can see he's got mostly Zealots and 3 High Templars. It's a good number of Zealots, but again, not very high-tech units, not the scariest force in the world, especially against this many Hydras, and wow, it looks like a good number of Lurkers as well. So in the meantime, looks like he's just going to play a little bit defensively until he can get his goon force up. I think he was getting a range as his goon range is about to complete. He should have some waves of goons coming out. There we go. Just as I say it, I see them at the natural, though they can't figure out how to get down the ramp.
And here we come in with some lurkers. You might see a nice storm or 2 on this bridge. One storm does catch a lurker, but no more than that. And Hydras are able to retreat. He's running the risk of losing his High Templar right here, though, and he doesn't have obs near his army yet. He has 1 on the way out now. It's not going to arrive for a little while. He should be able to hold off fairly securely with the units he's got and snipe off the lurkers as he moves forward. He needs to catch these opportunities. He is making a couple of cannons though, so he should be fairly alright against this. But here come some more Hydras and lurkers, and this could be a little bit dodgy for DragOn. He needs an observer over there right away. Where's the first observer?
It's coming. It's at the natural, but is it going to be in time here? Oh man, he's under some severe pressure. Even if it gets here, does he have enough stuff left to deal with this? The problem is he's got no more storms. He wasted all of his storms just on individual lurkers. I was not sure that was the best option here, especially since he didn't even get the last hit on them to clean them up. And oh man, all of the zealots just getting melted by the lurkers. This third base looks like it could fall here. DragOn making the costly mistake, not quite having the observers in time, and also not saving his storms for the Hydras, which were the real threat. And now I do not think he can hold on to this third. Suddenly, he's behind in supply. TechnicS, 93 supply against 87 for DragOn. DragOn had like a 20 supply lead or 30 supply lead the whole game. And suddenly the tables have turned here. TechnicS is showing that even when he's not in top form, he is still a monster. I don't understand how, after taking so much damage to his overlords early on, he's in such good shape.
Yeah, that was such a poor engagement from DragOn. Really bad engagement. Everything we saw from him last week was the opposite of that. He just wasn't quite there, and it was the late observers which really caused him. He's going to manage to grab a few more overlords now, so that's nice. Trying to pedal back against some of that damage, but he's taken so much damage, and the destination, notoriously terrible map for getting lurker contain on. Really, really horrible. But yeah, his late observers there cost him his entire army and his position. It was ridiculously expensive for him. And yeah, like I said as well, he wasted all his storms early on. Very, very bad engagement. And TechnicS now looking in a great position. For some reason, pulling all his army back though. Not quite sure I can explain that. He is leaving a small force outside DragOn's natural just to contain for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's just getting a bit frustrated by these Corsairs because he's still getting supply blocks. This is the really only attacking force DragOn has right now, are these Corsairs.
Yeah.
And they've actually helped him to get back into the supply lead just because TechnicS can't make stuff. You can see his money's going over 1k right now, which obviously...
Oh, more Overlords! Will he see them? Will he see them? Yeah, he's gonna see them.
Oh, no. Wait, why is Overlord speed not done? What the hell? What?
No.
Why, man?
He doesn't even have a free lair at the moment. He's making it into a Hydra.
Oh my god, that is a very strange move there. Going 4-hatch Hydra, you're supposed to get that Overlord speed quickly because exactly because you don't have fast Scourge. Yeah. I mean, that's very, very strange to me.
Yeah. Oh no, more Overlords in the main
my god.
as well. This is so costly for TechnicS. This is DragOn's way back into this game without a doubt.
Oh my god, another one!
Oh god. Still supply block. Look at his minerals. Look at his gas going higher and higher. DragOn's army is not big, but it is quite concentrated. But oh my god, TechnicS still has a lot of stuff. DragOn maybe is pushing us a little bit prematurely. I don't think he can do this quite yet, and he has not the army size. Even with good storms, I think he still wouldn't be able to take an engagement at this point. There's so much army from TechnicS. Holy crap.
Oh, but he's going for it. He's moving across the bridge. His army's in a line. He's got to get the storms off. Where are the storms? Storm! Oh man, great storm. The Zerg army's not even trying to storm dodge. There's one more, and it looks like so much dead Zerg all over the map. But he did take out, it looks like, a lot of the Zealots and all the High Templars. Oh no, one High Templar still has energy for Storm. The other two are out for the next 15 seconds or so, so he's actually just going to make them into an Archon. 146 supply now for DragOn against only 108 for TechnicS. Looks like random goon guy trying to be a hero. The Overlords, sorry, the Corsairs meanwhile still marauding around in the main. TechnicS still not getting Overlord speed, even though his high finish. Look at all these slow Overlords still flying around. TechnicS.
God.
I mean, seriously, dude.
He's not even trying with the Overlord speed. He's literally not bothered. He's just not going for it at all. And here comes DragOn again. He's remade an observer. He has another one with his army. TechnicS moving back into position, but his army is not the terrifying force it once was. Yeah, so look right now. He's coming in with mainly Zerglings at this point. His Hydras are all going down. His single lurker died as well. DragOn is looking potentially quite overwhelming here. Nice storm on what few Hydras there are. Will DragOn have enough? It looks like he may just have enough to push through. A few more lurkers coming in, but they're going to do nothing but die. DragOn continues forward. TechnicS moving with more units though, and DragOn's force is dwindling. TechnicS can maybe just about hold it. There is still a good solid core of goons left there though, and if DragOn can reinforce that with Zealots. Yeah, he should
I
retreat.
really
Look at
think you
all
should
the
retreat.
things.
Once you've got no more storms and you're down to only Dragoons, this is the problem. The Zerglings become incredibly cost efficient against the Goons. The Goons cannot engage this effectively, and it looks like Adrenal Glands is not quite done yet for them, but it should be on the way. And oh my god, look at all these Goons falling, and all the High Templar as well. They're gonna get a lot of these Zerglings, but this is why you should, as soon as you win that engagement, but you have no storms and only Goons, immediately run away. That is the time to just, you know, screw your pride, screw your Protoss pride, just run away as fast as you can. Get the hell out of Dodge, because there's no way you can deal with the Zerg reinforcements. The only way you can stay there, and GG from DragOn,
What?
losing his army there, feeling like he cannot do anything, and just throwing in the towel there. A bit of an interesting GG timing, but that was a very expensive army that he lost.
Very, very expensive. I feel that was a little bit weak of a time to GG out, to be honest. Especially given all the damage he did with killing so many Overlords. But wow, in more ways than one, he threw away a really, really good game position there. Really, really badly. I'm not quite sure how he managed that.
Maybe he's just trying to do the same thing he did against Julia, you know, go down 0-2 and do the reverse comeback, reverse sweep.
Yeah.
It's exciting that way. It's exciting.
Precisely. He just wants to make it good for us, the commentators, and you, the viewers. So we should all thank DragOn.
Exactly, exactly. So, next game is going to be on Aztec, I believe? I think it's Aztec.
I think it's Aztec.
So yes, we'll come back for game number 2 after a quick break. See you guys.
Don't go anywhere.